Hello fellow orchid lovers, it's Danielle with a Vandaceous type orchid update. I do have a Neofinetia included in this video, and I'm not really sure if it's considered a Vandaceous type orchid, but it grows in a similar pattern and I wasn't sure what category to put it in, and I didn't really want to sit down and do some research. I kind of want to get on with my watering schedule today. So into the Vandaceous type category it has gone, and I don't know if it's right or not, but here we go. So we'll start with it first. This is a Neofinetia falcata that I've had for about a year. Most of my orchids I've had for about a year or longer. Some of my phals are a little newer. So I got her, it was just a single fan, and she has developed a secondary fan there. As you can see, it's really hard to keep her leaves dust free because they have that crease in the middle, and it's really hard to get the dust out of there. I did wipe her down right before I videoed, but I can see I left some behind. She seems to be doing good. Her roots are all pretty healthy. She's developed some new, see those silvery roots? She's developed those roots in my care. The more brown roots are the ones that she came with. But a lot of them actually got like branches and stuff like that. So, you know, she's doing really well. Her newer roots I find are a little resistant to hydrating at first. But after some time they do start to accept hydration. I'm not really sure. I think that's something that orchid roots naturally do. But yeah, the newer roots have a tendency to hydrate a little bit slower than the older roots do. But other than that, she seems to be doing okay. She's a really slow grower, so I'm not really sure why that is, but that fan has been developing for a while now. This is my Rhyncostylis Colossus. So, I don't, is that an O? I don't know. But she's supposed to be blue, which I know most orchids aren't really blue. Even if they're called blue, it's kind of like a purplish color. But still, I really like my Rhyncostylis, so I purchased this, not realizing what a tiny orchid it is. Like, tiny. I mean, look at that Rhyncostylis and that Rhyncostylis. That is a Rhyncostylis gigantea, though, so that's probably part of the difference right there. She's doing really good. She's developed several leaves in my care. This is her newest leaf right here. She's developed several new roots in my care. Some of her older roots have branched, as you can see. So she's pretty happy. No signs of any flowers or anything like that, but I don't know how big she has to be before she starts to flower. I think she's probably at least several years off of flowering. This is one of my Rhyncostylis gigantea. This is the red one. My Rhyncostylis just seem to really enjoy water culture. The root growth on my Rhyncostylis since I got them is astounding. They both came, this is another one, they both came with really old, woody, yucky roots that were just very unhappy and mushy and bleh. And as soon as I put them in water culture, I mean, look at the size of that root. Look at the size of that root. As soon as I put them in water culture, the old roots started branching and they developed monster new roots. So they really like having that constant moisture available to them. And the leaves are nice and healthy and firm and fleshy. They're both in this window, and this gets like eastern light every morning, really bright light for a couple of hours, and they seem to enjoy that. They do have some, you know, purple spots on their leaves, which I'm told means that that's just about where they need to be as far as light levels are concerned. Her newest leaf wasn't as big as her older leaf, but she has another one starting there, so she's continuing to put out new leaves, so that's good. This is the white with purple spots. This is the one I like the most. I put her in a bigger vase because her root system is going completely ballistic right now. I mean, like, insane. And I think maybe it was too big for her because she started to flop over instead of growing straight like the red one. Her leaves are, because she was further away from the light because the vase was bigger, and she has kind of started to grow this way to get more towards the light, which is twisting her, which I don't like. So I put her in a slightly smaller vase, but I mean, her root system's so big, it's kind of hard to put her in a smaller vase. I didn't have to break any of her roots to get her into this, and I don't plan on it. But yeah, her root growth is insane. Look at all those new roots. I mean, this, she grew in my care. Her old roots branched. I mean, she's got so many green growing tips. She's so very happy. She does get a fair amount of algae in her vase, and it's hard to get rid of it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but there's some algae. I just cleaned her roots, and there's still some algae attached. But, I mean, you can't completely eradicate it. It's just part of the nature, especially of water culture. You can see it a little bit there. Especially water culture orchids that are right by the window. The algae is going to grow. And also, these are Vandaceous types, so I do feed them a little bit, you know, a little bit higher level than some of my other orchids. So there's a lot of nutrients for that algae to go crazy on. No flower spikes or anything from them at this time, but I'm not really expecting anything from them, really. I'm going to show you my Vanda. My Vanda, I wouldn't say that I dislike this plant, because how could you dislike a plant? But honestly, I've had this a year and a half, and it's such a sorry plant. I mean, it came to me in bad shape. I will give you that. The roots that it had were really bad. They were really badly pop bounds. They were all dying. So, you know, she kind of was set up for disaster to begin with. So, you know, I don't know. I kind of just lost patience with her, and I threw her outside this summer. And that's been good and bad. The good part of that is that orchid that had horrible roots that were all dying back, the old roots have branched quite significantly. You know, so she's grown some new roots. She also got some nice new fat chunky roots. You know, so she liked that in as far as she grew nice new roots, but the foliage kind of suffered. I don't know how well you can see it, but I mean, that damage is from my cat. My cat got to this as soon as I bought her, and yeah. So, I don't know, the foliage is kind of spotty, and it's not in great shape. So I don't know that putting her outside was really a good idea, but I was so frustrated because everything I tried with this orchid did not make her happy, that I was just like, you know what, it's either throw her out and just forget that I ever got her, or put her outside and see what happens. And although, like I said, the foliage isn't really happy, like her newer leaves are small, her roots went crazy. So I don't, she's a puzzle. I'm not really sure what to do with her. I mean, look at that. From being outside. I mean, she did have a lot of dirt and debris in her leaf joints that I took her in the shower and I just cleaned her out. But I mean, she's also got like weird, funky stuff growing on her. She's got like these little dots that they don't just wipe off in your hand. If you like scrub the leaf, they come off. So I'm worried they might be like bug eggs or something. So she's not going to go with the rest of my collection. I'm going to spray her really good with like a pesticide and see if I can make sure that she is free of bugs before I bring her inside. But yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with her. She's my only real true Vanda, so I can't say that I have a lot of experience with Vandas or that I know what I'm doing with her. So if anyone that does have Vandas and have, you know, success with Vandas, want to ring in and let me know what you think. I did cut her stem to make sure it wasn't Fusarium. It is not Fusarium. I cut back her stem until I found green though. So anyways, yeah, I'm not really sure. She's a head scratcher for me. But my other Vandaceous types, my Rhyncostylis and my Neofinetia, are doing really well. So I'm happy about that. So that's my Vandaceous orchid update. And I will talk to you all with another update hopefully shortly.